Okay viewers, if you're watching this, chances are you've either just received or are dreading receiving. One of the scariest letters you can get from the IRS is the Statutory Notice of Deficiency, also known as the 90-day letter or NOD. This is a formal declaration from the IRS that they believe you owe them a significant amount of additional tax, penalties, and interest. And it starts a strict 90-day countdown that could determine the fate of your finances. We're going to break down exactly what the NOD is, why it's issued, and the awful things it can do if ignored. And most importantly, the strategic, knowledge-based solutions you have to tackle it head-on. This channel is dedicated to empowering taxpayers facing IRS issues. And today, we're giving you the ultimate playbook for the NOD. Get ready to transform anxiety into action. By the end of this video, you'll be armed with the knowledge to navigate this challenge effectively. Segment 1. The Statutory Notice of Deficiency, what it is. The Statutory Notice of Deficiency, NOD, is a heads-up from the IRS letting you know you owe some taxes, plus penalties and interest. It's important to pay attention to this. Think of it like the IRS giving you the final word after an audit. They found you owe some taxes, and this isn't just a friendly question, it's a legal notice. It's issued after the IRS has completed an examination of your tax return, and you haven't agreed to their proposed changes. This could be after a mail audit, an in-person audit, or even if you previously disagreed with the findings presented in an IRS 30-day letter and chose not to pursue the IRS appeals process at that stage. It's crucial to understand the NOD's place in the IRS process. Before the IRS can legally record a tax liability against you, which is called assessment, they have to send you this notice so you get a fair chance to challenge their findings before they start collecting. You might also hear the NOD referred to by its form number, such as Form 3219A. The letter explains how the IRS is adjusting your income, deductions, and credits, as well as any additional taxes, penalties, or interest. It's basically the IRS laying out their case against you. Segment 2. The awful consequences. What happens if you ignore it? The 90-day deadline for the NOD is super important, and ignoring it can lead to some serious problems. This letter is known as the 90-day letter because it gives you a full 90 days from when it's mailed to file a petition with the U.S. tax court. If the petition isn't filed by the 90th day, you lose your chance to challenge the deficiency in tax court. Seriously, missing this deadline means you're giving up your most important right. Don't let that happen. Miss a deadline and the IRS will hit you with taxes, penalties, and interest right away. That proposed deficiency, it's now a legal debt. Once the IRS figures out what you owe, they can take some serious steps. This includes putting liens on your property, grabbing money from your bank, or even taking a chunk out of your paycheck. This 90-day window is your unique opportunity to challenge the IRS's findings in tax court before you are required to pay the disputed tax. Missing the 90-day deadline for this prepayment forum means you lose a key taxpayer protection. After that, your only choice to contest the tax is to pay the full amount. To challenge the tax, you have to pay it first and then fight for a refund in court, which can be tough for many. The awful truth is, ignoring this letter guarantees a much more difficult and costly resolution down the line. Segment 3. Your solutions. A step-by-step action guide. Solution 1. Agree and resolve. If you've looked things over and think the IRS is right about their changes, you can just agree to the extra tax. Usually, the Notice of Deficiency NOD comes with a waiver form, like Form 870. By signing it, you're giving up your chance to challenge it in tax court, and the IRS can move forward with assessing the tax. After that, they'll send you a bill. This way, you can dodge extra legal fees and long disputes. Once you get it, check out payment options like an offer in compromise or an installment agreement with the IRS to settle up. Solution 2. Petition the United States Tax Court. This is your most powerful tool if you disagree with the IRS's findings. Within that strict 90-day window, you must file a petition with the U.S. Tax Court. This document is super important, and getting it filed on time is key. Once you file the petition, the IRS can't go after you for the disputed tax until the tax court sorts it out. This gives you precious time and stops any immediate collection efforts. In tax court, a judge will listen to both you and the IRS. You'll get to share your evidence and explain why you think the IRS got it wrong. Solution 3. Contact the IRS Taxpayer Advocate Service, TAS. The Taxpayer Advocate Service, TAS, is an independent organization within the IRS that assists taxpayers in solving IRS issues that they couldn't fix through regular channels. While TAS cannot overturn an NOD or stop the 90-day clock, they may be able to provide assistance if you believe the IRS process was flawed, you're experiencing financial hardship, or you need help understanding the notice. They can sometimes facilitate communication or ensure your rights are being protected, but they do not typically represent you in tax court. Solution 4. Re-engage IRS appeals, even after the NOD. Taxpayers usually get a chance to challenge audit results with the IRS Office of Appeals before the NOD comes out. If you've received an NOD, it might mean you skipped this step or couldn't reach a resolution. However, even after an NOD is issued and a tax court petition is filed, IRS Appeals often gets another chance to settle the case before trial. If you file a tax court petition, the IRS often assigns the case to appeals for negotiation, so be prepared to present your case to them. Solution 5. Explore other IRS programs after assessment, if the 90-day period expires. If, despite best efforts, the 90-day deadline expires and the tax is assessed, all is not entirely lost, though your options become more difficult. You can still explore IRS collection alternatives. An offer in compromise (OIC) allows certain taxpayers to resolve their tax liability with the IRS for a lower amount than what they originally owe. This is typically an option if you can prove you genuinely cannot pay the full amount due to financial hardship. Installment agreement. This allows you to make monthly payments to the IRS over a period of up to 72 months. Currently not collectible, CNC status. If you're experiencing significant financial hardship and cannot pay basic living expenses, the IRS may place your account in CNC status, temporarily halting collections. Segment 4. Your immediate action plan and empowerment. Do not panic, but do act urgently. This is the most important step. Don't let fear paralyze you. Acknowledge the severity, but immediately shift to action mode. Note the mailing date. This is the precise start of your 90-day countdown. Mark it clearly on your calendar. Double-check that postmark. Review the NOD carefully. Understand exactly what adjustments the IRS is proposing. What income items, deductions, or credits are they challenging? Gather all your important documents about the disputed items. This means tax returns, receipts, bank statements, canceled checks, invoices, and any chats with the IRS. These are your evidence. Check out the IRS website, irs.gov, for great resources. Just search for Notice of Deficiency, Tax Court, or Taxpayer Advocate Service to find the help you need. IRS Taxpayer Advocate Service, TAS. If you're facing significant hardship or believe the IRS hasn't followed proper procedures, contact TAS for assistance. Their phone number is usually found on the IRS website. The tax court's website, ustaxcourt.gov, has a handy petition kit and filing instructions. They don't give legal advice, but you'll find all the forms you need right there. Low-Income Taxpayer Clinics, LITCS. If you meet income guidelines, LITCs are independent organizations that provide free or low-cost legal assistance to taxpayers in disputes with the IRS. This is a fantastic resource if you're eligible. Dealing with the IRS can feel super intimidating, but that statutory notice of deficiency, it's just a bump in the road. Handle it right and you can totally turn things around. You're not in this alone. I hope this deep dive into the NOD has you feeling super clear and confident. If you found this video helpful, give that like button a smash, subscribe for more IRS tips, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out. And hey, share this with anyone who could use this important info.